Hello, dear students. Myself, PM Madri, lecturer in economics, KLS Gogte PU College of Commerce and Science, Belgaum. I welcome you to new experience of online classes, a new method of teaching and learning. In the present critical scenario of COVID-19, we the teachers and management trying to do the best possible attempt to continue the journey of learning with available resources. And I hope you all will utilize the technology in the optimum manner, because gaining knowledge is never ending process. We should thank the COVID-19 warriors, doctors, support staff, police force, defense force, and intelligent administrators and citizens of our country. In today's session, I'll be dealing with a very important concept called production. It's a third chapter, production and costs. Students, in any economy, no matter it may be capitalistic, socialistic, or mixed economy, there are five main elements of any economy. The first one is consumption, production, distribution, exchange, and public finance. So, out of these five main elements, the first and foremost, or the inception point of starting point of all economic activities is consumption, because consumer is considered as a king in economy. In fact, consumers' taste, preference, likes, dislikes, they are the indication for the producers and all other elements of the economy. If consumption starts, the production get activated. Producer will get the clear indication what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce, what should be the price, quality, so and so. Then distribution, exchange, and to supervise, guide, monitor public finance or government is very important. In the present situation, you might be realized the role and importance of government. In production, there are many concepts and issues, and after understanding this chapter, you'll be able to answer these questions. What are the different aspects of production function of a firm? What is the relationship between input and output? Why does the law of increasing returns operate? What constitutes production cost? Production is generally defined as the transforming of input into output, any raw materials converted into finished goods, or creating or adding utility in commodity. Utility is nothing but want satisfying power of any commodity or service. For example, raw jute. To produce this raw jute bag, we required raw jute, labor, capital, other inputs, which will be helpful to produce the final product. Similarly, seeds, irrigation, insecticides, fertilizers, machines, equipments result in the production of paddy, sugar, and all other commodities of the economy. Services of teachers, doctors, lawyers, chartered accountants, consultants, and many other services are the examples of production in services. Here we take the best example of input-output relation. We test your food at every stage from raw materials to finished products. Wheat converted into flour, flour further processed, and finally converted into bread, which is the ready final product for eating. Here is another example of a sawmill. Raw material has been processed, and finally is been manufactured into table, chairs, furniture, door, etc. You can see the stages of this production. First stage is tree felling, stage 2 storage, stage 3 transport to sawmill, from forest to sawmill. In fourth stage, breaking down into small pieces. Stage 5 seasoning, and stage 6 and most important stage, resawing to accurate sizes. Then finally, stage 7 manufacture. In this example, we'll see the final product, a musical instrument, guitar. In economics, there are 5 functions: demand function, consumption function, supply function, investment function, and production function. So today we are going to understand what is production function. Production function explains the relationship between factor input and output under a given technology. These all inputs are resources such as labor, capital, equipment, and raw materials that are combined to produce finished goods. The production function is a mathematical concept which represents the maximum quantity of output a firm can produce given the quantities of inputs that it might employ. According to Watson, production function is the relationship between physical inputs and physical output of a firm. We can represent it mathematically. Y is a function of R, L, K, O, and other factors, where Y indicates output, R land, L labor, K capital, and O organization. Production is a function of land, labor, capital, and organization. We call also organizer as an entrepreneur. Thus, production is a function of all these 4 factors. Therefore, these 4 factors of production are also called pillars of economy. Factor: land, labor, capital, and organization. These all 4 factors get the reward for their work. The respective rewards are: land will get, or the landowner will get, rent as its reward, labor wages, capital interest, and organization or the producer or the entrepreneur, the residual part is profit. Now, how these inputs are converted into final products? All these 4 factors are converted into outputs: cars, houses, food, computers, and many other products. But in modern days, not only these 4 factors, but 2 more factors which has been added, and they're having far more impact on the production: knowledge and managerial skills. Students, you might be seeing many examples, or in the present situation, many companies are undergoing loss and tough competitions. They could not manage the cost analysis. So many companies have closed down. But there are few examples like Tata, Birla, Reliance, and many more companies who have managed and diversified their managerial skills and knowledge. That is the reason why they are standing strong in the competitive world. So, along with 4 factors of production: knowledge, managerial skills, and coordination of technology, they are all the inputs which have the impact on the output. Isocons. In second session, in consumer behavior topic, you studied indifference curve. Similarly, In production function, it's isocons, is also called as isoproduct curve. An isocont is a curve that shows all the combinations of labor and capital that can be produced with a given level of output. Graphically, they are the level curves representing all the points of the mountain, combination of L and K, yielding or giving the same height, same output. An isocont is also called isoproduct or equal product curve. And any point on the isocont yields the same level of output. Isoconts are downward sloping or negative sloped because a firm can substitute between L and K to maintain a given level of output. It means the producer is indifferent in both the factors. Either he can use labor or capital. If he increase more units of labor, he has to sacrifice or he has to reduce the use of labor. Therefore, isocont indicates when the quantity of a factor is increased, the quantity of another factor must be reduced. If the proportion of capital increased, the proportion of labor will be reduced. Any rational producer or intelligent or wise producer will not increase both the factors at a time. For example, in capital rich country, they employ more capital and less units of labor. But whereas developing country like India or labor rich country like India, they use more units of labor and less units of capital. If they increase the units of capital, they will reduce the units of labor, which yield or which gives the same level of output. I hope you understood why it is called isoproduct curve or equal product curve or isocons. It's nothing but equal quantities. Here we can see the graphical presentation of isocont. The first diagram shows on the same IQ stands for isocons. Here on OY axis we are measuring capital and OX axis measuring labor. And these are the combinations lying on the same isocont A, B, C, D. Now all these combinations are giving the equal output. If you observe the combination A, where OK units of capital is used and OL units of labor is used. It means more capital is used and very less units of labor is used. The opposite of this or the another end of this point is D combination, where you can see more units of labor is used and less units of capital is used. So whatever may be the combinations lying on the same isocont, it gives the equal output for the producer. I hope you understood what is isocont. Now further, if there is any improvement in the technology or improvement in the skill, the next isocont shows higher level of output. In the second diagram you can see there are 4 isoconts, IQ1, IQ2, IQ3 and IQ4. Higher the isocont curve, it represents higher level of output. Lower the isocont, it shows the less units of output. So the third diagram make it clear. IQ1 gives 100 units and any points lying on the same isocont gives the equal output. But whereas IQ2 gives more output than the IQ1 and IQ3 gives more output than the IQ2. Similarly, IQ4 gives the more level of output than IQ3, IQ2 and IQ1. Higher the IQ curve, higher the level of output. So it shows that as you increase both the units or move from next IQ1 to next IQ2, it gives the higher level of output. But it's not possible for the producer in short run to increase both the inputs in the same proportion. He has to sacrifice. It's said na, कुछ पाने के लिए कुछ खोना पड़ता है यार. If you are gaining something, you have to sacrifice something. Similarly, in this, the mathematical term marginal rate of technical substitution, MRTS. Marginal rate of technical substitution is nothing but the rate at which one factor is exchanged or substituted to the another factor. So in this table you can see the factors. In this table we can see the factor combination A, B, C, D and E. All these combinations is having both the units of labor and capital, and it shows what is the level of output. Now suppose we are in A combination, it shows that very less units of labor is used and more units of capital is used. And what is the final output? 100 units. And when the producer moves from A combination to B combination, you can see that he has increased 1 unit of labor and he has sacrificed 5 units of capital. To employ 1 unit of labor, he has to sacrifice 5 units of capital. So here you can see the rate at which they have substituted, that is called the marginal rate of technical substitution. To get 1 unit of, to have more in 1 unit of labor, 5 units of capital has been sacrificed. Similarly, as he move from B to C combination, further he wants 1 unit of labor more to employ, he has to sacrifice 4 units of capital. So here the marginal rate of substitution is 1:4. Further, from C to D combination, 1 unit of labor is increased from 3 to 4, and here the producer has to sacrifice 3 units of capital. And lastly, when he moves from D to E combination, further he wants 1 unit of labor, he has to sacrifice 2 units of capital. So it shows that whatever may be the substitution, but the quantity of output is unaltered. It means it is not changed. Okay, we are not altering the level of output. Thus, marginal rate of substitution refers to the rate at which factors can be substituted at the margin without altering the level of output. So MRTS of labor and capital is nothing but delta K by delta L. I hope students you understood what is isocount. We'll see with more concepts in my next session. Thank you. To be continued.